If you're ashamed of changing careers, you are not alone. But what if I told you that staying stuck on the wrong path is a lot more riskier than starting over? Hi, my lovelies. My name is Okochukwu Obina, and you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last week, we spoke about starting over, and by popular demand, we are continuing on that path to talking about changing careers. Let's get right into it. For some weird reason, people fear looking like a failure when they switch careers, even though they're miserable where they are. Society teaches us to stick with what we started, and this mindset has left a lot of people trapped. In this video, I will be showing you why overcoming career change is not just important, but it's actually necessary for personal growth. In putting this video together, I looked at a couple of phenomenal career changes just to bring you the best insight. Now, this is not just motivation, it is a real strategy for breaking away from career guilt and stepping into your true potential. So, why is career shame holding a lot of people back? You guessed it. Fear of judgment and the sunken cost fallacy comes top two on that list. Now, I did talk about these 2 points in my last video, starting over. I will be linking it in the description. Please check it out. But essentially, there is this career ladder illusion, and people somehow assume that they cannot step sideways. Why? Why? I mean, you are not a tree that must stay stuck on a particular spot and just keep growing upwards. You're a human being and you're allowed to explore, live life. If something isn't working for you anymore, no longer serving you, you step sideways, you move and, go on to pursue something that aligns with your interests. People are also worried about what people will say. Like, what will they say? Are they paying your bills? Are they feeding you? They're worried that people would say things like, oh, she studied this and she's not doing it, she's probably on social media just making noise, or she's gone into sales and marketing, I thought she was supposed to be an ophthalmologist, and all sorts of things. As far as they're not paying your bills, madam, oga, focus on your focus, right? Mind your business, do your thing. When you eventually succeed, they'll be the ones, guarding around you and trying to form familiarity. So just do you. Another thing, like the sunken cost fallacy, is you yourself are the one hindering yourself. You're worrying about how much I spent, the sleepless nights, and all sorts of things. See, if something doesn't serve you, move. You're not a tree. Move. Okay, I will be sharing 8 reasons why overcoming career shame is crucial for growth. Number one, you deserve happiness. I can't overemphasize this. You deserve happiness. Like, I had to repeat it because, like, you find out that if you're at a job that you hate, you just feel drained of energy all day. You're just constantly staring at the clock, thinking of when you can get out of here. And you find that you just tend to make ridiculous mistakes because you lack enthusiasm. You don't even want to be there. You're probably there because it pays your bills. Why do you want to feel miserable day in, day out? I know of this girl, she was my former colleague, and she said she used to have heart palpitations once it's almost time for work. Like, when her alarm rings in the morning, she's thinking, God, I might need to do this again. She was that miserable. And even though we all didn't really like the job, I just told her, if your heart is pounding every time, you always have to take bathroom breaks to go and cry, you're so miserable that it has even affected every aspect of your life, then, my dear, it is time to move. Move for your peace of mind. You deserve happiness. Number two, success comes from alignment and not from sticking to one path. You actually thrive when you follow your interests. Imagine, for instance, you have always wanted to be a content creator, and anytime people ask you to come volunteer for some content creation stuff, you see yourself going all the way out to get it done for free. and it's something that you're truly passionate about, but you are stuck at a job that you do not care about, you don't even want to apply yourself, you're not happy about. Imagine if you had, you know, started, for instance, content creation on the side, and you have grown it to a point where you have been able to monetize your account, or probably offer products to people to buy. Just imagine that life. I've met a couple of people who have been able to make that transition from their 9 to 5s to entrepreneurship, from the 9 to 5s to content creation, which is also a type of entrepreneurship. And I've seen people transition even from one career to another one. I know that it takes a lot of work and it can be tough, physically, mentally, emotionally. But I've seen people put in that work and be able to, blossom into their best selves and end up the better for it. So change careers is really not a big deal. Go out there and have fun. Number three, you will gain more skills, not lose them. Career transitions make you more adaptable, right? Because you've done something in the past and now you're moving on to something else. You will definitely carry on the skills you've gained from that last role into your new role. And what I find these days is that a lot of employers actually like people who have, gone around across careers or across industries. And it really speaks well of you when you're able to say, oh, I moved from this career to this career and I'm able to bring this and that skill from that career. I'll give you a good example. I've seen people transition, for instance, um, from project management to cybersecurity, right? And they like to hire people like this because they know that you'll be more effective in managing your tasks. You've dealt with, for instance, in project management, you've dealt with developers, you've dealt with engineers, you've dealt with all sorts of people in the same space, but from a different perspective. And so they expect you to bring that experience into that role. You would be a better candidate for a particular job than somebody who has done, cybersecurity all their life, right? So just make that change. You'd be the better for it. Number four, nobody actually cares about your career shifts. People are more focused on their lives. Like all over the world, there's inflation, things are getting tougher. It's harder for our generation to buy houses or even do anything to raise kids. Like, so everyone is, grasping at straws, trying to live their own lives, and you're there worrying about what people will say. It doesn't make sense. Just do what you want to do or do what you need to do to get where you want to go. People really don't care. Now, where they will care is if you start to bug them with, oh, please help me with this, help me with money, help me with that. Then they start to care. Because it'd be like, so if your job doesn't pay well, for instance, or if you're miserable at that job, why don't you just move to something else and stop bugging us? So as far as you're not disturbing anyone, right, make that career switch. You will be better for it. Next, every career change opens new doors. Fresh opportunities come from making bold moves. I don't want to mention names. I have one very good example. A friend of mine, I watched her move from real estate to project management to project management in the cyberspace to becoming a business consultant. And, watching her move like that, making those bold moves, even encouraged me to even, restart my love for entrepreneurship. Now, it might be difficult, right? Because like you're reinventing yourself over and over again. It's not easy to reinvent oneself. But guess what? Seeing that people who have done it are better for it, it encourages me to go out there, reinvent myself, and actually pursue what I want to pursue. Don't limit yourself to a particular career because you feel like you've spent so much money to get there or because of whatever reason. Open yourself to new opportunities, right? You don't know where your golden opportunity is. Fine. Some might argue that if they stay on the corporate ladder, that is where they will find um, the opportunity, and they are not wrong. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. This is not a video preaching, oh, everybody must become an entrepreneur. My point is, wherever you think you need to make a change, Don't hold yourself back. Make that change. In fact, whether it's you or external forces, don't let anything hold you back. Don't allow anything limit you from gaining those new opportunities. Number six, you become more confident. I know I say this over and over and over, but trust me. And this is coming from somebody who has moved from career to career to career. I now trust myself a lot more, right, to deliver on anything because I feel like all the skills I've gathered across my various careers, I bring it to the table to solve whatever problem is before me. So I'm more confident as opposed to somebody who has told the same career line all their life. I'm now able to see things from different perspective and get the thing done even faster than somebody who may have more experience than me in that particular field that I'm currently in because I'm bringing a rounded perspective. Number seven, failure is better than regret. Like it always, always beats regret. If you go to an old people's home and you sit down amongst, old people, typical thing you would hear is, I wish I had done this when I was younger. I wish I had made that transition. I wish I had left maybe a toxic relationship. People just keep wishing and wishing and wishing. And I wouldn't want us to be in that category of people that end up regretting that they did not make one move or the other. People say that graveyards are the richest places because so many people are lying 6 feet under with their hopes and dreams and lots of regret. My biggest wish is when I leave this earth, I leave here having emptied myself, having done everything, having lived life to the fullest. I know that God has called us to know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him. And He would give me utmost joy if I'm able to serve Him by living my life to the fullest. And I know that when I go back to Him, He will be happy to receive me because I have lived fully to the glory of His name. Now, I'm sure I may have mentioned in some of the or the other, I have dabbled into all sorts. Started out as a lawyer. I have, dabbled into cybersecurity and all sorts of things. So go out there, live your life to the fullest. You owe it to yourself not to end up regretting not taking that move you want to make. Number eight, you will inspire others. By owning your career shift, you give others permission to do the same. A lot of people around you might not know it is possible. A lot of people around you are scared because they are thinking it might take them years. But once they see you do it boldly, afraid, but still do it anyways, and you do it within a shorter amount of time than they think, you give them permission to go out and try the same thing. Your life should be an inspiration. And no inspiration is too small, no inspiration is too big. Go out there, live your best life, reinvent yourself as many times as you want to, and touch lives by doing that. Now, how do you embrace a new career path with confidence? And to this question, my answer would be you have to have that mindset shift. Replace I am starting from scratch with I am starting from experience. Like I mentioned before, you are an accumulation of all your experiences, everywhere you've been, everything you have been. And so you're bringing a new perspective to the table and you're definitely not starting from scratch. I mean, yeah, starting from scratch in this new career, but definitely not starting from scratch, if you know what I mean. You also have to shift from I am too old to now is the perfect time. I mean, whether you make this career change or not, guess what? You're still going to grow older. I had this friend who was saying, oh, I do not want to study nursing, even though it's something I'm interested in. But I'm like, Madam, it's in your best interest. Just do it. If that's what you're passionate about, just do it. She said she was afraid that she was old, she was in her 40s. She's not sure her brain was fresh enough to go and compete with 20 something year olds in class, do assignments and things. And I told her, just do it anyways, do it afraid, do it not knowing what will happen. And guess what, she just landed her first job. 4 years later. Just do it. There's no better time than now. There's this Japanese proverb that says, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. So everything is in your hand. Where you allow your fear take you is where you will be. If you are very, very fearful, then you can't try out a lot of things. And so your fear keeps you stuck where you are. But if you have very little fear, or you go out of your way to do things in spite of being afraid, then you end up, not being restricted by fear. In conclusion, I want to tell you that fear is just an illusion, and your happiness matters more than any illusion. Don't let fear limit you. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let yourself stop you. And you see all those voices that you hear in your head. Oh, it's too late. No, I'm too old. What would people say? I spent so much in this career. I don't think I can do this. Just quieten the noise in your head and go on to do what you need to do to get to where you want to. I leave you with this question. In 5 years, would you be proud that you stayed where you are? Or would you be proud that you took a chance on yourself and made that career change that you've always wanted to? Please let me know in the comment section that one fear that you are ready to let go of. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and let's have a meaningful conversation in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.